What is up, everybody? It's Homies Mars back again today. And if you guys haven't noticed, I'm starting to do these videos of like weapons versus weapons, because I think it's kind of cool, like seeing what's better for what kind of stuff, and you can use it for just general knowledge of, what's a better all-around weapon or what weapon is good for this certain situation and stuff. But anyways, guys, so the video today is going to be Spirit Dagger versus the Dirk of Cronus, and it's gonna be kind of why I don't usually recommend the Spirit Dagger, although it is a very nice dagger. It has its uses. I guess it's more of personal opinion or preference. But obviously, here's the first thing: the Dirk of Cronus. Here's its thing: it's damaged as 105 to 210. All right, so that means the average is gonna be about 157. And when you look at the Spirit Dagger, it's 45 damage to 245 damage. That's like a whole 200 difference in damage. And usually I do not like that kind of range, because with the Dirk of Cronus, it's only 105 damage difference in damage, and when you look at the Spirit Dagger, it's a whole 200. So I don't like having, whenever I'm fighting an enemy, I don't like seeing anything under 100 damage, or, something that's like really low damage. I'd rather have something that has a good close average, because the Spirit Dagger has a very the average can be all over the place, because it's just the way of the way it's laid out on damage. But there are some really nice things about the Spirit Dagger, in that it has 5.2 range, so that's not very less. I mean, the normal dagger, the foul. All right, I'm gonna throw in the foul just because I actually choose foul over Spirit Dagger. I'll tell you why in a minute. But the foul obviously has 5.6 damage, just like any normal dagger. But the Spirit Dagger has 5.2, so it's not as bad as the Dirk of Cronus, which is only 4.5. And range can be a concern, but here's the thing: I've noticed that 4.5 damage. 4.5 damage, 4.5 range. Isn't that bad, because usually if I'm in a tomb, I can comfortably use the Dirk of Cronus in certain parts, like certain bosses on the tomb and certain phases, and then I'll switch to the foul. And I found that range isn't such a huge problem when it's only 4.5 compared to like 5.6, because usually whenever I go to an enemy, I'm pretty close. And if I want range, I'll just put on the foul, because that has the most range of any dagger class, except for the Chicken Leg of Doom, which Chicken Leg of Doom is pretty bad. It's 65 to 105 damage, so that means its average is about 85. So it has 6 range though, which is kind of nice. But yeah, don't use the Chicken Leg of Doom seriously if you're actually trying to do damage on anything. But not only does the Dirk of Cronus, not only does it have 4.5 range, and it has really good damage, it gives you 4 wisdom, which is kind of nice for an assassin, or rogue, or trickster for that matter. All three of those classes really rely on mana for either damaging, or the rogue, he needs to cloak in a lot, and the trickster uses his little deception prism, or just his prism. I don't know why I said deception prism. I'm thinking of prisms, but it's not that bad having 4 wisdom, because 4 wisdom is actually enough to do something to your character. You can actually notice a little bit of a difference between how much you regen or not. But the Spirit Dagger and the Dirk of Cronus have their own place. I really don't feel like you have to have both of them. It's just kind of, I personally like the Spirit. Not Spirit. I personally like the Dirk of Cronus, because not only do you have a higher chance of hitting, you hit more in the upper range constantly. I like having a constant damage over 100, and which plus attack gives you even more. But with the Spirit Dagger, I don't like how it just dips sometimes, or it'll randomly shoot up, which is nice. You can pull out some pretty good damage, but in the end, I just replaced the Spirit Dagger with the Dagger of Foul Malevolence, because that thing is pretty foul, if you know what I mean. But anyways, guys, this video is pretty much over. But just kind of a recap: foul is nice for farming, and doing like raging on bosses in the tomb, or if you just want a little range because you don't feel comfortable. And the Dirk of Cronus is great for dungeon bosses, and especially the Stone Guardians, and like Bess's starting phase in the tomb. If you guys don't, he's great to start out Bess or starting out bosses. But then once bosses get into their like, I guess, rage phase almost, or close to being raging, you want to start using the Foul or a Spirit Dagger if you actually have it, because range is always going to be your friend in this game. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna keep kind of doing these videos. You can go ahead and say what weapon you want to see, versing. That's not a verb, but if you want to see like Seabo versus Doombo like I did it for, I don't know why I'm saying that again, but if you want to see something versus something, I can go ahead and probably make a video of it, even though I'll probably make pretty much all of the weapons, going against each other. Although I do prefer having the weapon to, kind of, use, just so I can have my own opinion thrown in there. But anyways, guys, have a good rest of the day. I hope this kind of made you have a decision. If you want the Spirit Dagger or Dirk of Cronus, again, it's still also personal choice. But anyways, guys, I'll talk to you guys and see you later in the next video.